Welcome to the Art Beat, where creativity pulses and the heart of local art comes alive.
For today's episode, you're going to need a canvas, some acrylic paint, at least 3 or 4 different colors, and white. You're going to need a lot of the white paint more than the color paint. You could also use black. We're also going to need a plastic cup, some yarn or any type of string that is fairly thick, some thumbtacks, a pair of gloves. Any kind of plastic gloves will do because it is going to get pretty messy. A small ball or a marble, a plastic spoon, or anything you can use for mixing the paint. So today we're going to be doing fluid art, and you'll also need an air dryer, blow dryer of some sort, or a straw. If you don't have a blow dryer at home, you can also use a straw. We're going to take our thumbtacks, turn the canvas over, and place one thumbtack in the corner. So one thumbtack in each of the 4 corners. So the reason for the thumbtacks is so that we can easily pick the canvas up off of the table without messing up our painting. Then we're going to get our paint and we're going to mix it because we want it to be fluid and we want it to be thinner than regular acrylic paint. So I do 3 parts acrylic paint, 1 part water. Now, if you're doing this on a more professional level, you're not going to use just water to thin your paint. But for what we're doing, water will work just fine. Once you've mixed your paint, you're going to take your white paint, which I said you need a lot of, and spread it all over the canvas. You want a nice, thick layer over the entire canvas. So I'm just using my spoon to spread around that white paint. You can use anything. You could actually pick the canvas up and just maneuver the canvas to make the paint pour all over. But I'm just using the spoon to get it spread all over, a nice thick layer. You want to make sure the paint is like running off the sides. Okay, now that we have our white paint spread out, we're going to take our colored paint, and I like to start with the darkest color first, and we're just going to do a nice thin line going through the center of our canvas. Now you can do this diagonally, you can swerve the line a little bit, anything will work, just a nice thin line. Then we'll take our next color and the same thing, a thin line right on top of the first color. And you're going to repeat this process until you have each of the colors done at least twice. If you have a larger canvas that you're working with, you can do this process where you have each color done 3 times. But for this smaller canvas, each color done twice will do just fine. Okay, now that we have each color done twice, we're going to grab our blow dryer, and you want to get your blow dryer as close to the canvas as possible, and you want to have it on the low setting. As you can see here, I taped off part of the blow dryer because I'm working with a smaller canvas, so I don't want the blowout area to be so big. But if you're working with a larger canvas, you can leave it, you don't have to tape it off. And then you're just gonna blow this out until you get a design that you like. You can leave it like this, where it's just really thin and you have a lot of the white showing. I'm gonna blow it out a little bit more so I still have some of the white showing, but I also get that nice marble looking effect in the center of my piece. And that's it. I think I'm done with this piece. Now, if you want, you can also do this if you have smaller canvases and you have multiple. You can do this across multiple canvases so that they connect. So all you do is the same process, but when you're pouring your lines, instead of stopping in the corner, you continue on over to the next canvas. Now I'm going to show you another technique which is very similar to the first one, but instead of doing a line, which I would suggest you master the line first because that's the easiest, and it looks simple but it's pretty messy, and it actually took me some time to get the technique down correct. But once you do that and you have that technique perfected, we're going to do the same thing where we fill our canvas with white paint. Then we're going to try to create like a abstract flower, something that kind of looks like a flower. Instead of just doing a straight line across the page, we're going to try and create what looks like a flower. So for this piece, we're going to, instead of doing a line, we're going to try to make what looks like an abstract flower. And instead of using our spoon to pour, what I did was I actually, once I mixed the paint with water, I poured it back into the original packaging, the original tube, because I want the pour process to be really thin. Like I want a nice thin line around my circle, and you'll see what I mean in a bit. So we're gonna grab our like a neutral color like that you want to be in the center of your flower. Like I'm using silver or gray, but you can use brown, any color that you want to be in the center of your abstract flower. And we're just gonna grab that color and do a small circle right in the middle of your canvas. Now for this first one, I kind of over poured a little bit, so your circle would need to be a little bit smaller than this. If you're working with 8x10 canvas or even one slightly bigger than that, I would say the circle would need to be about an inch and a half in diameter. Then what you're going to do is take your other colors, and you can start with the light one, the dark one, it doesn't matter, and circle around. So you're gonna just drop that around the gray or silver. I added a little bit more silver, which again, don't do that. That was a mistake. I put a little bit too much silver in this first piece, and you'll see what I mean at the end. Now we're going to take our blow dryer, and because I'm working with a smaller canvas, I actually taped off half of the blow dryer because I'm working with such a small canvas. And then you're going to go to the edge of the circle, like where the silver meets the color, and blow out outwards to try and make like petal shapes. Now take your time with this because As you can see, it can get quite messy, and I've already kind of messed up the center of the flower, but it's nothing that can't be corrected. So just take your time and blow out the colored part of the paint, trying not to blow where the silver is. I will say this technique works a lot better on a larger canvas because then you have more space that you're working with when you're using the blow dryer. But I just wanted to give you guys the tools and the techniques to do it yourself. So get creative if you can afford it. If you don't mind, get a bigger canvas. This will work a lot better. However, I will show you in the next section, if you don't have a blow dryer at home, or if you do but you're working with a small canvas like me and you're kind of nervous about using the blow dryer and messing it up, you can also use a straw to achieve the same results. And I'll show you that next. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using the end of my spoon and kind of dragging from the center to try to make each of the petals more distinct. Again, this one didn't come out exactly how I wanted it to. The center with the silver is a little bit bigger than what I would have liked. So I would recommend doing a little bit less, especially like I said, if you're working with a small canvas. If this was a bigger canvas, the center of my flower would have been fine, and what I would have done is just use my blow dryer and made the petals bigger, and then it would have came out fine. So moving on to the next one, where I'm going to show you, you can do the same thing using a straw. So I learned my lesson with the last one, and as you can see, I'm doing a lot less silver. That's about the size of a quarter. Then I'm doing the same thing where I'm going around the circle with my different colors. And I learned my lesson from last time. I'm not adding any more silver. I'm just going in with the colors. Then I'm going to take my straw, and again, I'm going to start blowing outwards from the spot where the color touches the silver. So I'm getting a little bit of the silver coming out, but not a lot. And this one takes a little bit longer to achieve the same result. But as I said, if you're working with a small canvas, I think the straw works a little bit better because you have more control and you don't end up, just blowing all the paint off of the page, off of the canvas, sorry. So I'm just taking my time here and I'm just blowing outwards, trying to make petal shapes. And what I love about this technique is that you can literally, if you don't like how it looks, you can simply take your hand or a piece of paper towel, swipe it off the canvas and start over. Now, I mean, you're using quite a bit of white paint and it's not the cheapest acrylic paint, but it takes some time to get used to this technique. So don't beat yourself up if it's not coming out the way that you want it to the first try. now I'm pretty satisfied with the shape. I think it kind of looks like a flower. I'm just gonna go in with the end of my spoon and trace what I would say would be the outline of the flowers so that the petals just look a little bit more distinct. Now with this next technique, we're going to do the same thing. Cover your canvas with white paint. And then I'm taking my colors and I'm just going in with the darkest color first and doing big circles randomly across the page. Don't worry if you have some drips like I do here. Just do a bunch of random circles. And then you're going to take your next color and you're going to pour it directly on top of the last color. By this point, guys, I had given up on my gloves because I was getting my blow dryer messed up with paint. So I took the gloves off to use the blow dryer in the last piece. And then, yeah, I didn't even bother putting the gloves back on because acrylic paint is really easy to come off of your skin. So don't be afraid if you get some paint on your skin. It's fine. This is a messy one today. So I'm continuing pouring right in the middle. And you want to do this until the circles start to touch one another like they're doing right now. So I'm just adding a little bit more here. And you can use as many colors as you like. For this technique, you can do as many colors as you like. I went with 4 colors here. And I'm just gonna do a little bit more. You wanna make sure all of those circles are kind of touching one another. Going to grab our ball or marble, whatever you have laying around the house, and just drop it right in the center of the canvas, and then we're going to roll it around. So the idea is to create kind of like a marble effect with the paint using the ball. This technique is really fun and the kids really love it. However, it is very messy and heaven forbid the ball or marble roll off of the canvas and onto your floor. Yeah, that happened. Once you have that marbly effect, then what you want to do is tilt your canvas so that the paint runs right off. You see how I have some of the edges where it's just the white? So you're going to go ahead and pour it until the paint runs right off. And you can keep maneuvering and pouring and moving around the canvas until you get the marble-like design that you like best. And there we have it. I'm finished with this piece, and it looks something like this. Now for our last pouring technique, you're going to cut a plastic cup in half so that you have two sides open. You're going to place it in the middle of your canvas and start pouring your paint directly in the middle of the cup. Now, it doesn't matter the order that you do the colors in. I'm just pouring random colors. I started with the lightest color and then moved on from there. Now, at this point, your cup should be moving slightly and the paint should be running from underneath like that. So if it's not doing that, then you just do what I did and lift it up slightly, not too much, but just so that the paint starts to pour out from underneath. And you're going to do this until the circle of paint from underneath is about 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the edge. And just let the cup move freely and spread the paint around. Now, once you have enough paint in there that can cover the entire canvas, you just lift the cup up, and then we're going to start tilting so that the paint runs all the way off the canvas. Now, I didn't love the fact that the center was such a big open circle, but honestly, I'm not mad at the final design. So you're just gonna keep pouring, keep maneuvering the paint around until you get the shape that you like. As you can see, I used my finger to kind of spread around some of that paint where the middle was just all pink, because I wanted a more marbly effect. I didn't want such a big open space in the middle. And then you're just gonna keep pouring, making sure your entire canvas is covered. And you can keep maneuvering that as much as you want until you get what you like. You can use your fingers to move the paint around to create more of a marble effect. I still wasn't quite happy with this result, so I used another tool to just kind of spread it around a little bit more. And that's the fun of the fluid art, right? You can change it, maneuver it around until you get a design that you like. Now for this final piece, we're going to be using our yarn or string, and you want to cut them in sections about 12 inches long. Then we're going to just lay them out on the table, put our canvas to the side, and we're going to cover them with paint. this all in one color, but I find that when you do it with multiple colors, it comes out better and it's just a lot prettier. So I'm going in with my different color blues and some purple. So if you're going to be using different colors, try not to put the same color next to each other. So I'm going to go in here with my light blue. Make sure the strings are super saturated with paint. So this technique is a pull technique. So it's not a pouring technique. It's actually a pull technique. Alright, so now that I have my strings completely covered in paint, I'm going to bring back out my canvas and we're going to do the same thing as the previous pieces where we cover the entire canvas with our white paint. You can also use black paint or any color really. You can use any color for your base color. I just find that the white and the black make the colors stand out a little bit more. So I'm using white and I'm going to go ahead and cover my entire canvas in the white paint. Now that we've done that, we're going to take our string and we're going to place them onto the canvas like this. We want to just make swirls. So it's going to look like an S shape and just do multiple swirls. Try not to put them too close to one another and just do random swirls. So I'm starting off with 3 and then I'm gonna add a few more after. But if you want, you can just do 1 to start and you're gonna pull the string straight down. Pull it straight down nice and fast. Just pull the string right down. And I could have finished the piece here with just the 3, I guess they kind of look like lilies, flowers. But I decided to go ahead and add some more in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add 2 more because I wanted it to look more like, I guess like a bouquet of flowers or, you know, a bunch of flowers versus just 3 flowers. So I added a few more in here. And there we go. You can do this technique. You can make it into a bouquet. If you have a bigger canvas, you can kind of put some more taller ones, shorter ones. Just have fun with it, guys. As usual, get creative, make this your own piece, and have fun with it. With this particular type of art, it's gonna get messy. But don't worry, acrylic paint is pretty easy to clean off of hard surfaces. I would say it does not come out of clothes or carpets. So if you have a carpet, do this outside. If not, cover everything with garbage bags. Have fun!
Thanks for watching. Keep creating, keep exploring, and we'll catch you on the next beat.